Hi guys, welcome back to my page. I hope you're having a great day. Comment down below, let me know how your day has been. I have just filmed a video for my skin prep. That video should be up before this one, so I'll make sure I go ahead and link that video down below. Go ahead and give that video some love. I'd really appreciate that. Like, stop what you're doing, go watch that video first, and then come back to this one. Today, I basically found a makeup look that I thought was so pretty and so like spring summery, and I'm in the middle of my summer up here in the northern hemisphere, so I've been really dying to do some like really pretty like blushy summer makeup, and I think this makeup look will be perfect. And it's like natural-ish, but like there's so much, the blush is so heavy, and I just think it looks so pretty, and I'm really excited to see what it looks on. This is my inspiration photo. I found this over on Xiaohongshu, so I'm gonna leave their ad down below and you can go over to that page and give them some love, but I'm really excited to see the way that this looks on me. I have been looking for more makeup looks to do because I want to film more, so I'm currently on the hunt for that. So if there's any looks you guys want me to do, go ahead and comment them down below and I'll add them to my list. And quickly before we get started, like we're currently in a very tumultuous time right now, especially with the like ice raids going on in LA right now and all of these families getting separated and people getting deported. I've talked about this on other social media platforms, but I also wanted to make sure that I took a stand and also spoke about that here on my YouTube channel. It's not my biggest platform, but it's a platform that could help if anybody gets these message. If you go over to my TikTok, which I link down below, I repost a lot of like resources for if you're under arrest or fear of deportation, you can go to my resources so you can know your rights, because nobody is illegal on stolen land. So that's my piece on it. And as a black woman, when we came here, we were like cargos, but people don't want to get into that. If you want to subscribe to my page, go ahead down below and do that, and turn on the post notifications so you can be notified when I upload next. If you're excited to see this makeup recreation, keep on watching. As I said previously, my skin prep is all done. You can go down below to my skin prep video. I'm going to make sure I like link that on all of my makeup videos moving forward. For my lenses, going in with the OLENS French Shine lenses in the shade Aqua. The inspiration photo has really nice blue eyes, and sometimes I like using gray contact lenses to also give me like a blue eye effect, but these also give me like a nice like greeny blue, which I feel like is really flattering on my eye. And I feel like the goal of the blue eyes to sort of like soften up the look a little bit, and these lenses do a really good job at softening up my eye look, and I feel like they look really pretty over top of my blue eyes as well. And just look at them, they have a really nice effect over top. Next, going into the NYX Bare With Me spray to prime my skin. I'm going to spray this all over my face. I feel like it works really perfectly with all of the products that I use for my skincare. It's just like a really nice layer of priming over top before I go in with all the rest of the products. It kind of like helps meld all of my skincare with the makeup and like make everything work really well together. Then going into the Vanish Airbrush Primer by Hourglass. I'm going to take this all over the face. This is a really nice lightweight airbrush primer. I feel like it literally feels like nothing is on, but again, just works so well with that NYX Bare With Me spray that my skin just has like a really nice like pore filled layer over top of it, and the makeup just kind of goes over top so seamless. I love doing like dual priming methods where I use a spray and then I use like either cream or gel primer. I want my skin to look really soft and like really like pliable, because this look has sort of like a pretty like summery youthful vibe, and I feel like this primer is going to just make the makeup just go over top very well. e.l.f. Camo Color Corrector in the shade Orange to color correct all of my discoloration. I feel like I color correct the same every time I color correct. I'm going to go over my bags, any healed acne scar. You don't want to put any makeup over top of any active breakout. And then I like to go over my forehead because I have a couple blemishes, and especially like my burn scar. I just go over everywhere that I have a little bit of discoloration, because I feel like it just sets the makeup up better and just makes the like foundation process not as like dramatic, because I've underveined it pretty well. BK Beauty 113 brush to blend out all of that color corrector. I'm doing a lot of patting motions, a lot of tapping motions, just making sure it's perfectly like blended in pretty flushly with my skin, and it makes all of the rest of the products just like, again, go over top of it. To conceal, applying Milani Conceal and Perfect in the shade Warm Tan. I'm gonna go over everywhere I put that color corrector. I'm not blending it out at this stage because I'm gonna blend it out with my foundation, but I'm just going to cover up everywhere I put that color corrector. I don't know why, but I've been doing this recently and I feel like all of my blemishes and my dark spots have been looking a lot more concealed and covered in the final look of the makeup. And I don't know what part is like really good, whether it's the concealing or it's the color correcting. I'm not gonna figure that out right now, but I'm gonna do both steps because I feel like they just make the overall appear of my face look more cohesive in like one note, which for the like foundation building step, you want everything to kind of look pretty cohesive. For my foundation, going into the Alicia Satin Wearable Healthy Green Cushion in the shade 35 in Toffee. I'm going to use this all over my face to give me a really nice even layer. I think the color match is still pretty good, even though like none of my makeup has been like matching pretty well because I've been running this summer and like spring. So my foundation matches have been pretty bad, but like I think this one is pretty good. It just really helps to like really blend out my face. It gives me a really nice like base layer to go over top of and add any dimension and depth and highlight that I want. For me personally, it's sometimes hard to do that when I feel like my base is all over the place, but this little prep step that I do to make sure that my base looks as cohesive as possible kind of enables me to make sure the next steps just look pretty seamless over top of my skin. For my contour shade, going in with the e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the shade Rich Coca. I'm going to use this to carve out my face, starting with my temples, working my way down my cheekbones, as well as my jawline, just making those areas look more defined. I'm going to put this everywhere that I want to see a little more shadow, especially because like I have a bigger forehead and my jaw is not as chiseled as I would want it. So I really try to like add emphasis to those areas as well as your cheekbones, especially when you're wearing a lot of blush. When you emphasize your cheekbones, it just makes the blush really stand out. And I'm also going to put this on my lower lip to add some emphasis because her lips look really full. And like now that I'm looking at it, I'm going to add it to my upper and my lower lip. So I want to sort of like emulate that fullness. And her nose is really cute. So I'm also going to emulate sort of the same vibe for her nose, just making my tip look really round, emphasizing a lot along my nose bridge, and then just adding a little bit of color over across it. BK Beauty 111 brush to blend everything out. Starting from the top and working my way down my face, I'm really blending this as much as I can into the outer portions of my face to sort of like continue to cast some shadow is in that area and to sort of like minimize, especially where like I want like the center of my face to be really light. So I'm going to just keep all the shadows on the outsides of my face, blending that really nicely into my cheekbones and again along my hairline, just making sure that is really nice and perfectly blended. Also doing the same to my jawline and my lower lip, just making sure these two areas are blended as much as I possibly can because I just want the blending process to be pretty seamless. It looks a little crazy when you do it at first, but I promise you it's not that bad when you're actually blending it. Then taking this Morphe E22 brush to blend out all of my nose contour. This is a really nice dense brush. I feel like it's gonna make pretty quick work of all of my nose contour, just really blending that along my eye socket, blending that up into my eyebrows, and then also making really quick work of this like roundness of the tip of my nose and making my nose bridge pretty thin. I feel like this looks really pretty. It's like a cute nose contour, and this brush is really nice for blending because it's pretty dense. And again, I love a dense brush because it just makes the blending process look so nice and easy, and it doesn't take very long to blend out the product at all. To highlight, going in with the e.l.f. Camo Concealers in Medium Peach and Medium Beige. First, I'm going to go in with Medium Beige and I'm going to take that over everywhere. I want to do like kind of like a simple highlight under my eyes, around my nose, on my nose, my forehead, and on my chin, just making sure I add some lightness to those areas because I'm trying to make those the focal point of all of the high points of my face. And doing it like this is really going to add some emphasis to all of the shadows, just make them look a little darker and deeper, and really again emphasize the high points of the face. Then for a little extra going in with Medium Peach on the like very center of my face to just add some more light there because I love a bright under eye. I love a bright highlight, and this is just going to like set me up really well when I highlight later. BK Beauty 106 brush to blend out my face. I'm going to use this starting up the center of my face to really blend out all of this concealer. It is a really, again, a nice dense brush. I try try to like only really work in dense brushes unless I need something like not as dense, but I don't know why I would need that. Again, it just does a really good job at blending all of this concealer into the rest of the face and sort of like blending it all pretty perfectly with the rest of my makeup. Then using a powder puff, I'm going to go in and do some of the more detailed work, specifically with my under eye, just making sure that is really nice and blended up and making my eye look really nice and lifted, and blending that into my cheek contour, and also taking that on my nose to get that also nice and blended, just making sure everything again just looks pretty and seamless. And I'm just going to go through and slightly clean up that nose contour. I took it away a little bit with a concealer. I just want to freshen it up a little. For my cream blush, going in with the e.l.f. Camo blushes in Suave Mauve and Very Well. The blush in this makeup look is very heavy, so I'm really concentrating them all over my cheekbones, just making sure it really pops, but especially in like the center of the cheekbone. And then on my nose, on my chin, and on the nose bridge, over where I put that contour shade, I want this blush to be very stand out. That's why I'm going with the two shades, because I want a little bit of dimension, because it seems like she has dimension in the photo. And these two shades together just look really nice and rosy on my skin color. You want to like use a rosy blush that's going to fit your skin color, and these work really well for me. To set my contour and all of the highlight, going in with the Kaleido Symphony Contour Trio in medium. I'm going to use what's left of my Morphe powder brush to take the two of the contour shades and set all of the contour on my face. I'm just going to go through and make sure all of those areas are really nice and set. And I love using really matte contour. I feel like it just adds a really nice depth to the face and makes the outsides look really warm, and I love using this all over to set that. Then going in with a small brush to set my nose contour, really like buffing that in and setting in, and again the mattness of this product just makes the whole look appear more seamless. Then going in with a powder puff to set all of my cream products, everything all over the face. I'm going in and setting that. It just looks really nice with everything over top of it, and it also helps really like meld the look together. This is like really when the look starts to like look more seamless, is when you go through and add the setting powder. Go in with a layer of the NYX Bear With Me spray to set all of my base layer. NYX Micro Brow Pencil in Espresso to fill in my brows. She has a very thick, bold brow, which kind of gives her a more youthful look. I have really naturally thin brows, so I'm going to try to do as much as I can to sort of like add some depth and dimension back into my brows, especially starting with this brow product because it's going to be the base layer of these like thick brows. I'm going to try to recreate a lot of bold strokes, a lot of like full lines, and I'm going to make sure that I'm brushing everything up to make the brow look as full as possible because that is what the inspiration have. Next, going into the Milani Weekend brow to add some emphasis. I'm going to use this to add some emphasis to my tails and really add some dimension back into the brow. I'm trying to make it look as thick as possible, and sometimes having like different shades just kind of like make it look more hair-like and just makes the brow appear more full. And I'm going to go in with a little bit of the Alicia Sharper Pomade Eyebrow Fixer just to make my brow hairs just look a little more full and more like stuck in place, like the like laminated brow. Then I'm going to go in with these three products along my nose bridge and along the tops of my cheeks and a little bit around my face to create some fake freckles all around the face. Just kind of make the face look really nice and sun-kissed, and like it has like this really nice like flush glow to the skin. And then I'm going to go in with my fingers to like blend that out and kind of like make it look a little more harmonious with the rest of the makeup. For my eyes, going into my fave, the P. Louise Wedding Wish palette. First going into the shade Proposal. I'm going to take that all over my lid, really sweeping across the whole thing, just trying to even out my lid. Next, go into hashtag wifey. I'm going to put this all over my lower lash line, just completely filling that area up and making that area look really nice and dark. Then going into the shade Endless Love. I'm going to use that to highlight my lower lash line, really add some emphasis there and just bring a lot of light to that area to like emphasize that peggy style. Then I'm going to also take this under my lower lash line to sort of like make that bottom line look a little more sharper and a little cleaner and really brighten up my under eye, as well as on my inner corner to really like hollow out that inner socket of where I put that contour and just make the eye just really pop. I'm also going to take this shadow on my nose just to add a little more emphasis there as well, really rounding out the tip and just like adding a really nice highlight to the nose, especially down the nose bridge. Next, going into Forever Yours. I'm going to put that on the center of my lid in a really nice wash of color, and I'm going to put a little bit of that on my lower lash line as well to make the pink sort of match the top and the bottom. Finally, going into the shade Hitch, and I'm going to put that on my inner corner to add more emphasis and really make this area really nice and bright. First, going into the MZYZ black eyeliner to do a really nice thin wing on my upper lid, really emphasizing the outer corner of that wing and just making that area look pretty bold. Then going into the Flower Nose Butterfly Cloud Color Collection eyeliner in the shade Brown to line my lower lash line. I want to get it as close to my lower lash line as possible while also doing some fake lashes to really open up the eye. And you want to sort of like loop out the outer corner of your lower lash line to make that look a little fuller and to make your eye appear more open. Quickly, I'm going to put on the BBIA Last Powder Pencil in the shade Banana Milk on my waterline just to help that appear more open as well. Curl my lashes with the Shiseido eyelash curler to get them really nice and open, and I like clamping in multiple places, and again it just makes my eye appear more open, and the mascara I feel like adheres to my eye better when my eye is a little more open. Hourglass Unlocked Mascara in the shade Ultra Black on my upper lashes. I'm going to do a couple coats just to help the eye appear more open, and it's a really nice layer of mascara because you want something for your false lashes to adhere to. This also makes your lashes a little sticky, so when you're putting your false lashes on, there is a better stick and everything just kind of falls onto place on top of your lash a whole lot better. And I'm also going to take some of this on my lower lashes. Again, I like adding emphasis under where I put that redrawn lower lash line. I'm gonna quickly pop on a pair of lashes. These are Douyin inspired, so they're pretty spiky, and I feel like they look really flattering with this makeup style, and they look flattering on the eye. Kaleidos Mono Blush in the shade Sanguine all over my face. Using a Morphe brush, I'm going to put that everywhere that I put that cream blush, and I'm also going to go over my forehead just a little bit because I want that area to look flush as well, because I'm not going to be having the forehead cover that the inspiration photo has. So I just want my face to look really nice and flush and really pretty for summer. To highlight, going into the Flower Nose Little Angel Collection Emboss Highlighter in the shade Paradise Lost. I'm going to take this over all of the high points of my face, everywhere that I kind of previously hinted at I want to be slightly highlighted. I'm going to go in with this shade and really brighten up the look. I want it to look a little more dramatic. That's why I'm going in with this extra step to highlight, and I just feel like it's going to look really pretty all over the skin, and it makes my skin just look really nice and glowy, and again it has a nice juicy look for summer. Last but not least, going into my lip combo. First, going into the LA Colors Auto Lip Liner in the shade Mauve. I'm going to take this all over my lips, and I'm going to try to overline them really heavily depending on that contour that I did earlier. I want to make my lips look really full and really pouty because the inspiration photo is really full and really pouty, and I feel like it's just going to look really pretty. It's a nice rosy flush shade to sort of tie this look all together. Then going in with a lip tint. This is a Clio Crystal Glam tint in the shade Daily Mauve. I'm going to put this all over my lips as sort of a stain, really emphasizing on my lower lip, just making sure I build up that coverage. And then on my upper lip, I'm concentrating more on my Cupid's bow because I want that area to be really nice and rosy. To top everything off, going to go in with the Lancome Juicy Tube in the shade Pure. This is going to be a nice glaze of really pretty clear gloss. I'm going to put this over top of everywhere I put that lip tint. I just want my lips to look really nice and juicy, and this is the perfect product to do that. So this is going to be the final look. I'm going to change and I'll be right back. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think the final look looks really pretty. I was a little worried whenever I do a makeup look that has so much blush, I'm always I don't know how this is going to turn out on me, but I feel it looks really pretty. I feel me and a flush look are besties for this. And I was a little worried about the eye color, but I feel this works really well with the makeup look as well. If you guys have any other makeup looks you guys want me to try this one, go ahead and leave me a comment down below, and make sure you subscribe to my page and turn on your post notifications. All my social media is linked down below, so go ahead and follow me over on my other social media platforms. And then I'm really going to quickly insert a clip. Somebody wanted to know what the makeup looked like in daylight hours, and I typically film at night, and I keep the makeup on while I'm editing, and then I this is what it looks like. I know how long it can last for, but I'm inserting a clip of what my makeup looked like during daytime hours. It's not the afternoon, but it is sunlight, so just let me know what you guys think of the makeup look in natural lighting. I really hope you guys went ahead and checked out my skin prep video. Please let me know what you think of that. I love you guys so much. I really hope you like how this look turned out. See you next time. Bye.